Hey, call me Louis. This is my spot. LuiSpot.
What kind of African are you, brother?
I'm African.
But that's impossible. I'm an African Native American. My husband's an African Jamaican. My best friend is an African Ghanaian. He's a guy. There's no such thing as an African. Africa is a continent. It's not a city. It's not a state. You know, and this, I believe, is one of our problems, because we want to say we're African, but we don't want to pick Yoruba or you know.
But we don't know.
But you can learn it. You learn Christianity. You can learn anything. This time it could be your choice. I'm African Native American. People have a fit when I say that.
What if Mama said he was Cherokee?
So, I told you, Jose Pimiento Bay wrote a PhD that said every Native American here was a Mormon. I have a book that says Native Americans have been in this continent 150,000 years. That's before Europeans got out of the Neanderthal state. You know, I mean, like if people say something to me, I'll just say, what's your source? If he said Noble Drew up, does he belong to the Claudus L group? There are a lot of things. There's the L group, the Bay group, you know. Andy Bay and the Cloud, you know, there are all kinds of Moorish groups. It behooves, the same way as somebody says, I'm Jewish. You say, are you, I don't know if you do, but you should say, are you Hasidic? Are you Sephardic? Are you Ashkenazi? We need to do the same thing. If you say, I'm Native American, they say, are you Lakota? Are you, you know, give some credence to how people, because we've been all split up.
But if linguistically and
linguistically, more means mixed.
Mixed, right? Well, if the people can't decide, why even give it credence? Why even give this man any credence? If he's stating something that is not, there are a lot of theories.
You know, they say the natives were friendly, they gave us corn and all that, and then what did they get in return? And so when you find yourself practicing this, I don't like you, you said you this, and you said you this, I'm telling you, somebody accosted me the other day and said, why do you call yourself an American, Native American? That's a European construct. I said, no, it isn't. America is a word that comes from Nicaragua, from the Sierra Americas Mountains, and the Los Americos people who had the mountain of gold that Alberico Vespucci changed his name to Americus Vespucci so he could steal the gold, and they named this place after him who had named him after us. And the footnote for that is Fulcrum of Change by Jan Carew. Fulcrum of Change by Jan Carew. And we, like same thing we be arguing about more. Why all this stuff more? We don't know. Because I told you, just like this book said, the whole process of what you're reading is a process of editorial concordance with whatever keeps them in the dominant class. And when you read something, the first thing you should say, I wonder what is wrong with that. I don't care what it is that you do. You know, don't write, oh, I didn't know that. Say, I wonder if that is just another trip down, let me be the big boy's lane. And if you're in college, do it even more, but write the line. And until we analyze the system that dominates us, that's what I'm trying to do. Analyze the system that dominates us, not because we're black and because they're white, but because white people do what white people do, because white people do what white people do. And if you look at the way they treat their children, if you look at the way they treat their old folks, and you argue about what they do to you, it doesn't make any difference. If there were no black people in this society, you would have the same society. It just wouldn't be racist, it would be ethnocentric. My book starts with the Irish And then the Native Americans. They had all this in place before they even dealt with anybody black. And that's a mistake we made. To me, it's a major mistake. If somebody said, you don't like me because I'm white. And I said, no. I don't like you because you're not likable. You're being white is just an accident. You know? Now, we need to think about that. There are some good white people, but we shouldn't give any white people the benefit of the doubt. The sad thing about it is, we can't give black people the benefit of the doubt because we've gotten so European. When I was studying this, the Irish had a culture similar to Native American culture. They wore leather, they followed the herd, they had more than one wife, they kept them and got rid of them when they wanted to. They drank beer, you know, their own kind of beer. They had a free, they roamed plains in Ireland. The British came in and said, put fences up, change the way of life, one wife, work. And they were working because they were cattlemen, but they wanted them to work and grow whatever crops the British had. The British more than any other group changes your culture, and they don't have it. Look at their music. The best music they have is the magical, you know, whatever. So one of the things about the way our historians have read our history as if Europe gave us something.
Right.
And I have yet to find out what they gave us besides disease. What did they give us? They had no script. They had no God. They got the gods from the Near East, and, you know. What did they give us? And so, what I've been trying to do is figure out how did they make us believe they gave us so much. And that's what I was trying to tell you about them giving us the Bible. You know how they say, when the British came, they had the Bible and we had the land, and now they have the land and we have the Bible. And a constant editorial process that redefines the Bible with them as the emulation of God. And they describe God as white male, and then they give you a picture of Michelangelo's brother and tell you that's the Son of God. And I don't blame Michelangelo, but if I had brought a picture of my brother in here and said that's God, you all would say Charshee's crazy. But every other ethnic group, get 1995 or 94 Life or Look, they had 30 or 40 pictures of Jesus in every ethnic group except African American. We have white and blue out of Jesus. So you got to look at the process. That's what I want to do. And you can't look at the process unless you read books like Patrick Zechariah. What's it? Howard. You can't, and that's what each one of you should do. Each one of you should take a book. You should start, you know, you have lectures, it's okay, but you should pick a subject, and everybody, remember how I did the trial? Everybody picks a different aspect of that subject, and then come in here with round tables. Oh, yeah, look at this. Boy, are the ancestors with me today? Oh, I don't even have to bring show and tell. Now, this defies all intelligence because, in the first place, where was Jesus born? Where was he born? No, where does the Bible say he was born? He was a Nazarene, wasn't he? He was born, so he had to at least be Bronxton. Literally, you ever seen anybody born except the imports from Europe? And the minute you see the search for Jesus, Well, if they're searching for him, they ain't never gonna find him.
Both of them deal with searching.
That means it wasn't he.
And notice this is time and this is U.S. News. Do you think this is an accident?
Yes, ma'am, it is. But you remember what they said about the sister? They let the sister out and had nothing to do with the protest. Why would these people lie?
No, these people don't lie. These people rationalize their entire existence. They don't even know the truth. And when you tell them it's the truth, it doesn't, nothing.
Now, that sums it up for this video. What do you guys think? Share thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. Let's have a proper discussion about this without having me impose my opinions and ideas on this matter. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, so that the YouTube algorithm can know that this video was so much interesting and share it far wide to more avid viewers just like you. Subscribe and click the notification bell if this is your first time watching these videos, and so that you can be notified as soon as we make a new upload on videos just like this. My name is Louis. Until next time, peace out.